I'm James Circus, the Managing Director of Estuary Logistics. We're a freight forwarding and logistics company based in South Ockenden in Essex. Before I met Lucas, we were in a bad way. Yeah, we'd grown very quickly in the 18 months or so we've been running. I had problems with the team. I had financial problems. I didn't know how much I was owed. I wasn't collecting the money in. But the biggest problem I had was the amount of hours I was working in the business. The business was my life, yeah. I'd kind of let everything else go in my life, my hobbies, time with the family, and the business just basically took over my life. To be honest, I'd probably now maybe be divorced and yeah, in not a good place right now. But yeah, working with Lucas not only saved my business, but my family as well.
First thing we did was got him to really consider where he actually wanted to be, not in a few months, but in a good few years' time. And then we worked back from that. We really focused on time management. That was absolutely critical. We also focused on building a brilliant team around him, because there was no way with an opportunity in a business as big as his that he could run it on his own.
One Friday afternoon, the problems in the office got on top of me. I decided to go home. I got home, basically Googled business help, stumbled across ActionCOACH, who I had never heard of, found the local coach, who is Lucas Vigilante, made a call. Half hour later, we were having coffee in a local coffee shop. And an hour into discussion with Lucas, I felt a big weight had been lifted from my shoulders. I instantly connected with Lucas, and I realised that this was a guy that I wanted to have close to me. I wanted in the circle of people I could turn to and help me grow the business. As the sole shareholder and the managing director of the company, I was solely responsible for everything. Now I've got somebody that I have to account to. Lucas pushes me, I have to do the work, he makes sure I do the work, and he'll call me at times and make me aware of things that I've missed in the business. The biggest emotional impact of working with ActionCOACH is the time it's given back to me. I now work on the business, not in the business, and I work far less hours than I've ever worked, which actually really has given me some amazing family time. We take 3 or 4 holidays a year. I pick the kids up from school, etc., etc. Stuff that I could never have done had I not started working with ActionCOACH.
So one of the things that James was absolutely clear about from the moment we sat down was what his end game was. In coaching terms, we'd always call that the end that he had in mind. Well, the end he had in mind was indeed selling the business. So we focused entirely on that as an outcome. So we never got ourselves too emotionally attached to the business. We were always really looking for opportunities for us to grow to the extent we'd need to in order to attract an acquirer.
Yeah, as I say, initially I was working 60 plus hours a week on the business. Now I'm working about 15, 20 hours a week. When we started working with ActionCOACH, we were 8 staff. We're now just over 40. We've got a head of operations, a head of finance, a head of HR, and a head of sales. The team's structured great now. We've also won the 2 biggest industry awards in the logistics industry, which are recognised both nationally and internationally. Before working with ActionCOACH, our turnover was approximately £2 million a year. Now we're turning over in excess of £10 million a year. We've also increased our profits by over 100% year on year since we've been working with ActionCOACH.
Motivating him by maybe making a promise to himself that he'd buy himself a new luxury car once he'd achieved certain goals would be a good way for us to move forward. James loves Bentleys. A Bentley was a car that I knew that he'd really love to have. So we basically set the goal that he would buy himself a Bentley when he achieved certain things. He's achieved those certain things, so he's gone out and bought his car. That put a big smile on his face.
The biggest change for me personally is since working with ActionCOACH, I've completely changed my mindset on what is actually possible. I used to think small and just think about this one business that I had. I've now realised, working with these great people in ActionCOACH, what is actually possible. Next for me in the business is I'm actually poised to sell the business at any point now, and at that point I'll have financial security for myself and my family going forward. If you're thinking about hiring ActionCOACH, stop thinking about it and do it. This stuff works.